Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. It's time for another Polly Pocket build. I had so much fun building the first one. You also seem to enjoy it, so I decided to build a second one. And this one is a star shape. I had a star-shaped one as a kid. I was obsessed, and this one was one of my favorite Polly Pockets ever. So I decided to tackle a star shape. And I think it's good that the first one was kind of basic, like the regular compact shape. We've talked about this in the first video. The original prototype was just a tiny dollhouse built in a empty powder compact. And this is why I decided to go for the very simple basic shape for the first one. But now I just felt like trying to tackle a star shape, which was much more complex. So I'm going to explain you what I'm doing here now. So I found the star-shaped mirror in Build By. I rotated it using the tool mod, so it's laying flat on the ground. I sized it up, and this way I had a guideline. When you take a look at the original Polly Pocket, the star shape is rounded in each corner, so I had to ring the round shape in the corner. So I just followed the star shape for these straight lines, as you can see. And then I added the smooth round shape to make it look like the toy. I'm using a nightstand, which is glowing from the luxury party stuff. And I just think that this object is perfect. I have used the same object for my first Polly Pocket build, but this time around I'm using the pink swatch because the original Polly Pocket that I have used as a reference or inspiration is also pink, and I just love pink. Like recently, all these Barbie builds and stuff, I've just embraced the color pink. It's so happy, and I just wanted to create a pink Polly Pocket toy. So at this point, I've just moved the star shape to the side so it's gone, and I'm just building the round corners here. So I'm almost done with my star. So this is the main shape for the Polly Pocket for the case, and I'm now using the tool mod to duplicate all these objects. As always, a little disclaimer: this build was created using the tool mod, but you don't need the tool mod to grab this from the gallery. So it's CC free and unmodded in the gallery. You can just download this both on PC and console, and you can just place it. It's unmodded. You don't have to install anything on your PC, and you can just grab it. So you don't have to worry about this. In my opinion, this was kind of the best way of creating the whole case of the Polly Pocket toy. I wanted to have this iconic star shape. I didn't want to use any other method. I really wanted to have the pink color and the iconic shape, so I decided to do it this way. And I then started to fill in the area inside the star using just regular walls and floors. I'm using the tallest wall height here, and I build a room and a floor piece on top for the first floor at the bottom, and this way I had a floating floor piece. This is the same method that I'm using whenever I'm building a bridge, for example, and I've done this so I could decide on which level kind of the first floor is starting, and then I added more rooms on top because I had to make sure that I was able to fill the whole star with enough floors and levels, because I wanted this to be balanced, and I just didn't want to have all my levels and rooms in the lower half of the star, for example. I wanted my rooms to start at the bottom and to go all the way up so it looks like a proper dollhouse, so to speak. And I've then used platforms, lots of them, to fill in the area at the bottom. You can see that this is quite tedious. So the problem is whenever you have any type of object, and I'm having many objects here, and you're using the arrow to just change the dimensions of your platform, it's going to move all your little cubes, all your objects. So instead, I'm just placing them on the inside, and I've actually predetermined the height. This way I can just pick them up and I don't have to change the height, because the problem is as soon as you're changing the height, it's also going to raise all your little cubes, all your little nightstands, or just any object you're using this way. So I decided to just pre-shape all my little platform pieces, which is why this looks a bit chaotic. Like when you look on the left, there are all these individual pieces. And I've then used this object from Get Together, which is like a rug, but you cannot find this in the rug section, just in the regular decoration section. And it also comes in this pastel pink swatch. It's not like a hot pink, it's like a warmer tone, almost like a peach color. And I decided to use it to hide the open area in the back, like the cutout from the star, because when you look at the original toy, you don't want to have a gap in this area, and I had to close it somehow. I also did not want to use any flop pieces, foundation, platform, because I just wanted this area to be kind of floating. This might be confusing, but it was just the best way to do this, just like using this little rug object. Also, the most difficult part about the whole project was making the back of the Polly Pocket toy look good. Like the lid, the back of the lid. Because I have this out of the ordinary star shape. There's no object in this game which has the exact same shape, not even the mirror that I had used as a guideline, because I changed all the corners and made it round and stuff. And it was much harder to make the back look good compared to the first Polly Pocket build. This one was just round, and I used an object from the Paranormal Stuff pack. It's like this mint green circle thingy. I don't even know what this object is, but I had used it, rotated it, and placed it in the back. But here I had to figure out what to do. In some areas there are like walls because of the like walls and flaws that I have added to the lid, but then I had to hide all the other areas. I was trying different things. I was trying to use a canvas, like in base game there's a canvas in debug, but then you see like the back of the canvas as soon as the walls are down and it's looking chaotic. And I then ended up using the cutting board from Cool Kitchen Stuff and different objects. The back, in my opinion, is not completely perfect, but I tried to make it look good. And yeah, here at this point I've added stairs. I have added more cubes to the lid on the inside. At first I didn't want to do this, but then I thought, okay, it looks fancy and it makes sense. And the cool thing is the shape of the lid is identical to the star that I had initially built, because I just duplicated it. So whenever I wanted to fill an area like this, I could just follow the shape of the star at the bottom. I wanted to incorporate a bit of blue here and there, so I have a nice contrast. It looks colorful and happy. So there are like lots of pinks, different colors, and also a bit of blue. And I avoided like green and yellow. I don't know why, but I just love the contrast of pink and blue, or maybe a nice mint green, or a beautiful pastel purple color, but not like a really bright, aggressive neon green or yellow. I just kind of love these colors more. I have to say I was never a fan of the color yellow, like no matter if it's about clothes or decorations, I'm just not a fan of the color yellow, never was, and I think this is why I just kind of avoided it here as well. But I don't know, maybe one day I'm going to recreate a yellow toy. I'm just going to build a yellow house. I don't know, but like here I just kind of avoided it. Yeah, and here I'm rotating some cubes. I followed the shape of the star and I'm now placing them on the floor at the very top, and I'm going to fill in the area at the top. I did not want to use cubes for the whole lid because I had used so many, and I felt like it's always like the more objects you use, the more extreme it gets, like when you place a build and when you want to use it, and the more draining it is, like on your PC or notebook or whatever. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to use some cutting boards in the center, as you just saw, and a cute bow in the center. So it looks cute, but I just did not use like 200 more cubes at this point, both on the outside and inside. So I felt like this also looks good, and I then added more stairs, and I just turned this into a dollhouse. So the original one has like a balloon and there aren't any bats or anything in the lid, but I wanted to do my own version, and I turned this into a proper dollhouse, which is kind of the thing. Like this is or was the cool thing about Polly Pocket. You could just close it, you had your little dolls in there, and you had a portable small dollhouse that you could take anywhere, and I just love the whole dollhouse idea. I know that there were so many different versions and I had so many of them, but I just wanted to turn this into a regular residential lot and dollhouse. So I just built multiple bedrooms. Everything is open, of course, just like any dollhouse type of build, so the rooms are not fully closed. I've read a comment that someone turned this into a community lot, like the first Polly Pocket, and yeah, you could just do all kinds of different things. You could, of course, also remove the furniture. I did not furnish or decorate this excessively because I feel like then you don't have the Polly Pocket or dollhouse vibe. Like, I wanted to decorate, but if you start to clutter a lot, this is just not what a toy like this would look like. Like, it shouldn't be too realistic in my opinion, and I just wanted to make it look like a toy. I wanted this to be functional and nicely decorated, but not too much. I mean, I'm generally not someone who's cluttering all the time, we all know that, but here I was specifically avoiding to just add too many objects to this just for the vibe and look, and so it really looks like Polly Pocket. I did the same for the first one, and I just furnished all these rooms. No room is fully closed. The only exception is the bathroom because, I mean, your Sims won't use the bathroom otherwise, so they just, of course, need the privacy. So I just built the small room that you can see here, and I just built a really simple bathroom in there. And the hardest thing about furnishing this was to decide what to do with the section at the bottom. Originally, I wanted to include a pool, but then I realized that I had used platforms everywhere. We cannot build pools on platforms. You can remove the platform, build a pool, and then you can use a pool ladder. And I forgot who told me this in the comments, but I've said this before. You have forever changed my building life, because whenever I'm now working on a mansion and I'm using platforms, I'm just building the pool and I'm adding a pool ladder and it's functional, which is super cool. But here the height difference is just so stark, like the platform height, and it would look weird. I don't even know if this would be functional. So I was like, okay, no pool. So instead, as you will see, I'm just going to add a hot tub. So it's really fancy. Multiple dance floors. In the original one that I had as a kid, there was a small dance floor, and you could there were these small holes in the toy, and you could stick your tiny dolls in there so they wouldn't fall over. And there was this round dance floor, and you could put 2 dolls in there, and then you could just make it go around so that they were dancing essentially, which was the cutest thing. And yeah, this is why I wanted to include a dance floor, but this one is more of a modern version, not as dreamy as the round, beautiful dance floor in the original toy. So I just used what the game has to offer, which is a regular square dance floor. And I also tried to incorporate lots of blue and different colors here for the furniture. And I wanted to build a second kitchen, so there will be an outdoor kitchen including a barbecue grill. I mean, everything is outdoor here, let's be real, but I mean, I just wanted to have the difference of the regular kitchen on the inside and the one on the outside. So yeah, Sims can just enjoy the hot tub, they can sit on the bar, they can dance, they can have a party, they can use the outdoor kitchen, and yeah, they can just have the best time. And yeah, this was really difficult because I was okay, what am I going to build there? When you build a pool, that's the easiest way. When you have too much space and you don't know what to do, you just build a pool and you've used up so much space already. This is always good, but as I said, I couldn't do this here, so I had to figure out what to do here. So I just decided to add all types of different areas. And yeah, this video is slowly coming to an end. I'm going to add lots of screenshots so you can take a look at the build. And yeah, you can grab it from the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald. It is CC free and unmodded, so you can just add it to your game and play in this if you want to. And you can also grab the tray files from my Patreon. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons and Emerald YouTube members. A big thank you to Mehmet Ali Baris Khan, Paula Anna, Aja, Emma Barnes, Charlotte, Laplace, Lisa Martin, Leah Cross, Saturated Spark, Shanna McClan, Stephen, and Helena Lynn. Thank you so much for your huge support. A big thank you to all my other Patreons and my other YouTube members. And of course, thank you to anyone who's here and watching this. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting me. I appreciate it so, so much. I love you all so much. I hope you will have the best day and best week. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.